Hi guys, I just wanted to pop in again and make another little video that would be a follow-up to my update on Trump's information and actions. I have a lot of views on that video, so thank you everybody for watching. However, I did get a lot of comments that led me to believe that the people that watched the video for the most part had a very hard time understanding anything. So let me address a few of the comments that I deleted, and I'll just kind of like broadly address the situation as opposed to like getting in comment arguments. I find that those are usually pointless. So one thing was that people talked about the cartels and that I didn't want to stop the cartels. So cartels don't come from Ukraine, and they certainly don't come from Afghanistan or Burma or any other country that might send refugees to the United States. So I don't really know what that's about. And in all of my years, 18 plus years of helping refugees, and I've helped people from, I think, 56 different countries now, I've never met any refugee who spoke Spanish. So when people talk about the people who are coming from the southern border, and like I'm okay with people getting raped and killed, like that has nothing to do with anything that I'm talking about. So even though you did watch my last video and commented, let me try and make it a little bit more clear about the populations that I'm talking about and how they were negatively affected. So I can maybe do that easiest by giving specific examples of people. So for example, one man helped the United States military in Afghanistan during the United States time there in Afghanistan. So the United States, when they went there pretty early on, discovered that they wouldn't have a very easy time winning or accomplishing any goals or communicating with people if they didn't have interpreters. So they asked people, they recruited them to be interpreters. So they said, if you, Afghanistan man number one, would like to be an interpreter for the U.S. military, we can grant you special immigrant visa, which means you can come to the United States because you helped us in your country. That man didn't make the evacuation in 2021, so he had to flee to Pakistan because after the United States left in 2021, the Taliban took over and that man was essentially being hunted. So he's been waiting in Pakistan to be able to come to the United States since that time. What Trump did made it to where he couldn't come anymore. There's no possibility for him to come to the United States. And his case is one of about 10,000. And there were over 1,600 other and similar cases in Pakistan or other second countries who had been approved to come to the United States. They had flights booked because they helped the United States military at that time, and all of those flights got canceled instantly. That has nothing to do with anybody from the southern border. Okay, second case would be somebody that lives in the eastern part of Ukraine. They were just living their lives and they didn't want to be bombed. And they got sponsors to help them come to the United States as basically a refugee. Those people had temporary protected status, which means that they would be able to come stay with their sponsor, family members usually, in the United States for a temporary amount of time, usually until the war is over. They might not necessarily even want to leave, but it's better than getting bombed or killed, believe me. So now that person can't leave Ukraine. And that happened because of what Trump did. Again, has nothing to do with people from the southern border. A third example would be somebody from Burma who practiced a religion, and that religion is Christianity. Christians in Burma get threatened. I can't tell you the horror stories that I've heard. So nobody in any other country who might get tortured, taken, harassed, anything because they're Christians, they can't come to the United States now and seek refuge. That last group of people, they also are officially refugees. And like I said in my last video, those people don't get to choose which country they come to. They wait in a refugee camp for, like I said, 13 to 17 years. That's the typical wait time. And at the time a country says that they can come, then they find out which country they go to. The United States was a possible country until last Monday. So yeah, I really don't know what you all are talking about, and like talking about cartels and sex trafficking and things like that. Refugees have nothing to do with anything like that. However, there are some things in common with people who come from the southern border and asylum seekers and the refugees that I talked about that have a very large detrimental impact. So, I'll give another example. Okay, so let's say an Afghan military person came to the United States in 2021. They had to go through a resettlement agency to get support for a short time. Somebody who came across from the southern border goes to the same resettlement agency. They might claim asylum because whatever reason. They go to the same resettlement agency. These two groups of people have to use the same resources, which doesn't make a lot of sense. But because that's true, everything was canceled. So it doesn't matter where anybody comes from, what anybody has done in the past. They helped Americans. They were fleeing from war. They are Christian. Now they don't get to come here, and they don't get to receive any aid whatsoever. I think that is the heartbreaking thing. And people talked about, I don't care about Americans or something like that. I don't work with Americans. I don't work to help Americans. I think that if you were born in this country, there's plenty of opportunities for you to survive and thrive. And if you had experienced the horrors of any of the refugees had for just 10 seconds, I don't think that you would say anything. There's situations that Americans wouldn't never be able to imagine. So I really don't care what you have to say. Unless you've lived it, then you're complaining about the price of eggs or something. I don't care about you. So sorry to say it. But anyway, again, I'm here in class, or in my car waiting for class. I'm not really going to do that much editing for this video. I'm not even going to edit out this. I'm not going to put in any graphics because I really just wanted to sit here and talk for a minute about that. So sorry for your misunderstanding, and thank you for watching my video.